All right, today's assignment's a little bit different than usual. It's kind of a handwritten chart, but many times on the SAT, they kind of give you one little clue, and they expect you to be able to extrapolate that out and figure out a bunch of other things and make connections that sometimes are kind of difficult to make. So what we try to do is try to come up with this sheet to kind of help you bridge the gap between different concepts and okay, if you're given this little piece of information, what else do we know? So let's kind of get after it. So you'll notice at the top there are columns. All the factors are in this column. Zeros, roots, solution are in that column. That's an R for roots. A, B, and C, which I'll explain here in a second. Standard form, which is the form that a lot of quadratics are written in. And then finally the graph, you know, the x-intercepts, the solutions, all of that type of good stuff. So let's get right after with the standard form part. So standard form in general is ax squared plus bx plus c for quadratics. It's kind of like the slope-intercept form for a line, y equals mx plus b. And really, we're just referring to, a is just the coefficient, or the number in front of x squared, which in this case is a 1. You don't really see it, so it's a 1. The b would be this positive 8, is going to be b. And c is going to be this positive 15 down here. So that's where you see these numbers here on the chart. So let's just kind of start with this next line and see where we can go. So the easiest thing to probably fill out is that, you know, a equals 1, b equals the negative 9 in front of the x, and c is 18. So not really a lot of great information, but hey, I got something. I got to start. The next probably easiest place to go is we should be able to figure out factors. We did a lot of this on Khan Academy, and this is a trinomial, so we're trying to figure out, you know, how we can make this thing. Well, the x squared could only be made if we did x times x. That's how you get an x squared. Now my two numbers, if you remember right, they have to multiply to make this positive 18. So there's only a few ways to make 18. You know, 1 and 18, 2 and 9, and 3 and 6. That's the only numbers you can times together to make 18. But out of those choices, we need to find the two that can add to be a negative 9. So I think a negative 3 and a negative 6 would multiply and add to what we need. So I have x minus 3 and I have x minus 6. Well, to find the zeros, I think we can go right into the next column. To find the zeros, I want to figure out, you know, when is this 0 and when is this parenthesis 0? Well, this parenthesis is when it's x equals 3, and this parenthesis is 0 when it's x equals positive 6. So I can write my zeros down, 3 and 6. Notice they are different from the factors. They're often, most of the time, they're opposites of those. Well, now that I have my zeros, I should be able to go over to my sketch, and I should be able to put my dots, my x-intercept. It crosses x at 3, and it crosses x at 6. That's why it's called a 0, because the y value is 0. I don't know why the heck I put a z there. X. So 3, 0, 6, 0. Those are my zeros. All right, next one, the next row here, they start off with, they give me the factors. So we have factors and nothing else. So let's kind of work our way through. Well, the factors give me the zeros pretty easy. You know, I know it's going to be 0. The first parenthesis is 0 when x equals negative 2, because negative 2 plus 2 is 0. And then the other one is positive 4. So I might right away want to go over, and maybe I'll just knock that out and get it on my chart right now. So I come over here, slap it on the chart, and I got negative 2, and I got positive 4, and life is good. Now I don't ask you to do this, but if I did, you could also find the vertex, because the vertex is halfway between those dots, which would be right here at x equals 1. That would be the vertex. And I'm not sure what y is. You know, I know the vertex is going to be, x is 1, but I'm not sure what y is. What I could do is I could come over here, and I could plug 1 in, and I would get 3, and then I'd plug 1 in over here, and I would get -3, and when I multiply 3 times the -3, I get -9, and that would help me get my vertex at 1, -9. Then I could draw a little bit better picture. You don't have to do that on the sheet, but I thought it was a good opportunity to kind of show you what you could do. You could even take it further. All right, now the only two I have left is I need to get the standard form and the A, B's, and C's. Well, to go from, this is factored form, factor form. To get from factor form over to standard form, I just got to multiply it out. I got to expand. So x times x is x squared. X times a -4. 2 times x. And 2 times a -4. And now I should clean it up because right now there's no b term. I have 2x terms, so I need to combine that to get x squared minus 2x minus 8. Now we're in standard form. Now I could put my coefficients in. Coefficient is 1. The next coefficient is -2. And the next coefficient is -8. All right. So we got a couple options there. Got a couple here on the front page for you. Let me move on over to the back page. Maybe I'll do another one. It's a little bit different. Well, this page is huge. Let me kind of scale this down a little bit so I can see a little bit better. There we go. So on the back side, well, let's see. Maybe I will do, I don't know, maybe I'll do this bottom one. This one here that's got a couple of points. I haven't done one like that yet. I already did a factored one. I did a standard form one. Let's start with the picture. So doing this one, it looks like I have a 0 at x equals 2. And then I have a 0 at x equals -4. So I know my zeros. X equals 2, x equals -4, which tells me my factors. My factors are the opposites of those, x minus 2 and x plus 4. Well, once I get my factors, I should be able to jump over here by multiplying it out. So I'll get x squared minus 2x plus 4x minus 8. Kind of looks like the last example. Very close, except for I have a positive 2x here. So now I have standard form, and now I can put my A's, B's, and C's. Not B equals C. B equals positive 2, and C is -8. And if I wanted to, if I said, hey man, you got to give me the vertex. Well, the vertex lives right here on this line. So my vertex lives at -1 something. Well, I'd have to plug -1 in over here. And I'd have to multiply it out. I also, if I wanted to, could put -1 in right here and multiply it out. Maybe I'll do that just to show you. So a -1 times itself is 1. 1 plus -2, or 2 times -1, well that's -2, -8. So that one is also at -9. So way down here at -9. And I got my vertex going on. So those are just some solutions to kind of help you out so that you can finish up this chart. And ultimately, hopefully, it'll help you on the SAT test.